Hey guys, I have always grown garlic in raised beds with fantastic results, but this year I'm adding a little bit of testing to my garlic growing. I have grown some garlic in the ground and also in grow bags, and I also planted some in the spring. Just in case many of you are kind of late to growing garlic and you're wondering if you can plant in the spring, I decided to test that out as well. Not all of my garlic has come to harvest at the same time, but today is actually the first day I'm going to be able to harvest my garlic, and I'm going to take you along for my first garlic harvest here in raised beds. Let's take a look. Here's a quick look of what I've got here in this raised bed. This is an 18-foot raised bed. In the first 6 feet here, I have soft neck garlic on the entire bed. On the second section here, I have soft neck garlic on the first 3 rows, and then I have elephant garlic in the back. And then in the final bed, I have hard neck garlic throughout. So that just gives you an idea of what I'm growing here in the raised bed. And the reason I know that this garlic is ready to harvest is that when I look here, you can see that there's 1 leaf there that's actually already kind of disintegrated. So we have 1 leaf, 2, 3, and then this one is like, let's say 3.5. So we've got basically 4, almost 4 leaves that have turned yellow. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 that are still green. Now, any time between now and probably, 5 or 6 of these turning yellow is when I want to start harvesting my garlic. And so what that does is this green will make sure that the wrapper is going to make the garlic be able to store well. And you don't want to harvest it too soon because then you'll miss the bulb development. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and start harvesting quite a few of the soft neck garlic. But some of the hard neck garlic is ready, but some isn't, and so we'll leave that for another time. I'm starting on my soft neck garlic, and normally I use a spade here just to dig around and loosen the soil, but my soil is so full of compost that it actually is pretty soft, so it's pretty easy just to dig up here. And wow, that's a good size. Let me go and shake that off. If you look here too, if you dig up one that you just test, a lot of times you have a leaf down here that you actually didn't see. So if I count the leaves here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5. So really this is a good time to harvest this because you still have enough leaves here that will protect the clove, that will protect the bulb, and this will give it much longer opportunity in storage. So let's go ahead and clear out the rest of these soft neck beds. So for the most part, I would say this bed is a success. I saw quite a few really large bulbs. Also, there are some smaller bulbs. That's completely normal. I guess I could have left them, but I honestly don't think they would have gotten much bigger just because they had already started to die back anyway. So this bed is completely clear. As you can see, I've got peppers here. I love to relay plant peppers in the middle of my garlic. And now that the garlic is out, the peppers can have the sun all to themselves, and they should start growing a lot better now. We got more soft necks ready over here. Whoa. That one is a monster. My soft necks are harvested from my raised beds. I have left the elephant garlic, and I also left one variety of hard neck that are not ready yet. That's the music variety, so I'll come back for that later. They just started forming scapes like a week or two ago, so they still have a couple more weeks to harvest. I did harvest another hardneck variety. I don't know what it was. I've been saving it for many years, and the label got lost, but it was showing signs of needing to be harvested too. Those were a little bit smaller. In my climate, the soft necks just tend to be a lot larger. I'm very happy with this, and it'll be kind of interesting to see how these soft necks compare to the ones that I'll be harvesting from a ground bed and then also from grow bags. I checked the garlic that is in the ground and also the one in the grow bags, and they're not quite ready yet. I'm gonna give them a little bit longer, and so I'll meet you back here when I get ready to harvest from those beds. Here's also an update on the garlic that I planted in the spring here in my pizza garden. I just wanted to test the spring planted garlic to see how it would compare to garlic in the fall, because many people, as they're beginning, they don't realize that garlic is best planted in the fall. But this is not anywhere near ready to harvest at the time that my other garlic is ready to harvest, and so I'm not going to pull it yet. But judging by the size of these plants, I really don't have a lot of hope that these are going to produce really big bulbs. Yes, you see them in the shade a little bit because this tomato plant has gotten really big, but they weren't always like that. And then this is the southern side, so they're getting as much sun as they can. If you follow me on Instagram, when I harvest this, I will definitely let you know how it went, just as a test. But in general, I would say garlic is best planted in the fall. It's been a couple of weeks, and I think that this garlic is actually pretty far past due, but life gets in the way and I didn't get a chance to get over here. This garlic I did plant at the same time as the garlic I planted in the raised beds. I can already tell that they really didn't grow as well, but I understand this part of my ground bed is much more clay content than my raised beds. It gets a lot more saturated. So I'm not really all that hopeful that these are going to be as big as the ones in the raised bed, but let's go ahead and dig them up and see. Right away, you can tell I need a knife to dig them up, whereas the ones in the raised beds, I didn't even need that. Not bad. Not a bad size, actually. Let's see what the other ones look like. That's much smaller. And that one's actually a better size. That rivals the ones in my raised beds for sure. Well, not bad for my first ground bed garlic ever. This one definitely gives me some hope that if I ever wanted to plant my garlic in a ground bed, I probably could, especially considering this is probably the worst soil that I have in my entire garden. So if I planted it in an area that got a little bit better draining soil, I think these would actually do pretty well. So let's go check out the grow bag garlic and see how they compare. Here I have my grow bag garlic, and again, I should have harvested these probably a week or so ago, so I will use these first before the ones that I've harvested at the right time and properly cured. There's just not many green leaves left in the center, but let's just see how these compare to the ones that I grew in raised beds and the ones that we harvested from the ground. This particular soil was a mixture of just regular potting soil and compost. These are tiny. You want to help? You want to help? I don't think you like garlic. Lucy. Now this one's an elephant garlic. I can tell that by the little corms here. I just harvested the elephant garlic in my raised beds and they are huge. I guess these are elephant as well. These are tiny. I enjoy growing in grow bags, especially tomatoes, but this has not been a very promising harvest. I really thought these would do better than the ones in my ground bed with very poor soil, but as you can see, they did not. They did not perform These are very tiny, definitely compared to the ones that I've harvested in the other places. There you have my comparison of growing garlic in raised beds, ground beds, and grow bags, and also a look at what my spring planted garlic looked like. And I have to say, raised beds are still my favorite way to grow garlic, especially if you have soil that you're not quite sure about. But the ground bed did show some promise, so there's some hope for all of us that have not perfect ground beds as well. If you want more information on how to plant garlic, when to harvest garlic, and how to grow garlic, then check out this YouTube video and the podcast episodes in the description. And for more on vegetable gardening, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one.